Hello, nerds watching all over the internet. It is Thursday night, April 17th, and we're here for another exciting live edition of Wrestle Rewind. Yahoo! Another Thursday night to discuss all the exciting things that's happening in the world of wrestling. We're talking matches, segments, we're talking historical moments, we're talking OMG crazy moments that you don't see in real life. They can't get away with in real life.
Unless you're in the wrestling ring.
Yes, and guiding you on this journey is your host. I am Jose Casabona. I am the host of Wrestle Rewind, and I am also the host, the founder, the executive producer, and content manager of The Ravens Flock. And on behalf of everyone on this channel, we appreciate all of you tuning in tonight.
Is there a reason why you have to point out that you're the host 3 times?
Oh, no, I didn't say 3 times. I said 2 times.
I'm the host of the show. The host, the founder. Was it 2 or 3 times? Let us
2.
know in the comments. Well,
it was 2. I can count.
Yeah, can you?
Yes, I can.
You sure?
Well, joining me behind the camera, who dares to question me yet again...
Yeah, it's what I do.
...is... the host of the Black Files, my typewriter for Wrestle Rewind, the uneducated man, the man who is behind all the videos on this channel every single week.
Uneducated? Are you kidding me? I'm more educated than your ass. My words are the smeartest. You really think I'm going to let that kind of little dig slide?
No, but you are adding to this ongoing joke that has no end, Mr. Juan Arauz.
Thanks for that fine introduction, Jose. Don't you ever forget the Mister.
See, I don't need to do all these jokes and introducing Juan all the time. Sometimes Juan does it for me.
Hey!
Oh, and much like all our other shows, we are simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. Hit the subscribe or the follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Click the bell icon to enable notifications. Leave your questions and comments below. We'll answer as many as we can. And if you wish to go above and beyond.
What was that?
I have no idea. That was a weird sound. But if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens flock, then you can become an inner flocker. For $4.99 a month, you'll have access to all the perks that comes with our membership. Juan, tell them.
Well, for all the inner flockers we've got in our chat, and I know we have plenty, go ahead and show off those lovely membership badges and custom emojis, letting everybody know that you're stepping up to rescue the Ravens flock from the clutches of late-stage capitalism to become full-time streamers. We've been working since 2013 to make your voice our mission.
Check the channel. I think we're being rated.
Are we being rated?
No, we're not. Okay, continue.
It's okay. But what's more important is that we want to be able to make this our careers. We want to be able to do this for our livelihoods because it's something we're passionate about and it's something that we care about deeply. With your continuing support and with your help by spreading the word, spreading the good gospel of the Ravens flock, we can and will succeed, and we'll have youth to thank for that. You'll also have access to members first and members only content, a special discount to our merch store, link in the description below, and you also get access to us, the Ravens flock, your favorite Motley Crue nerds here to make your voice our mission by providing us your thoughts, your input, your feedback, and your ideas on how to better shape the future of this channel to suit your tastes and needs. Hey, up here's to the folks in the chat. We got Vicente Guerrero, Jeezy Rick, Lisa Boo, and Nikki Bella up in our YouTube stream. We have a lurker, and also we got Matthew Coburn over here in our YouTube stream. I was trying to say we have a lurker on our Kick stream, but pray tell, what is exactly that we do here on Wrestle Rewind, Jose?
On Wrestle Rewind, we review 3 of the most exciting professional wrestling programs in North America today. That is WWE's NXT, AEW Dynamite, and TNA Impact. All right, so WrestleMania is in the books. We're now in the new era of pro wrestling thanks to the WWE.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're already 2 weeks removed from it. So now we're on. So now we're on the road to the next marquee event in pro wrestling, and that is AEW's Double or Nothing, which will take place at the final Sunday of May in the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada.
So Sin City with us is the birthplace of AEW's grand debut on the world stage.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna see how everything turns out, especially considering that this is it this weekend or next weekend?
This weekend on April 21st, we do have a pay-per-view event before we get to Double or Nothing called AEW Dynasty.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna refer to. AEW Dynasty is starting us off on the road to Double or Nothing, and it's going to shape up how, hopefully, it's going to shape up how things turn out in the place where the best wrestle.
Absolutely, and here's to hoping that no real-life controversy distracts us from an awesome main pay-per-view.
Knock on wood. Yeah, no, it's gonna happen. I'm sorry.
I don't know. They got away with it in Revolution without a hitch. But then again,
say anything 3 times in wrestling podcast and you become a parody of a Jim Ross parody. Oklahoma, good thing as they stopped the repeat at 2. Good point.
All right.
Fuck Oklahoma. And fuck Oklahoma.
And also this Saturday, we have an incredible pay-per-view from TNA called TNA Rebellion, which will be held at the Palms Arena, coincidentally, in Las Vegas, Nevada.
So yeah, plenty of spots to get your wrestling fix on. And you know what we're gonna need? We're gonna need to keep ourselves infused with the mana of life. We're gonna need to keep ourselves alert in order to absorb all this pro wrestling content for this program. We are going to need energy.
Well, yeah, of course, it's Sin City. I mean, how much? You need a lot of energy to gamble. Oh wait, you're talking about energy. Period. Yeah. Yes, of course.
Yes, I am.
I'm not encouraging gambling. Anyways,
if you have a gambling addiction problem, please seek help.
Yes, folks, Glitch Energy, the ideal beverage for all the geeks and nerds to help keep your body supercharged and revitalized after a long, awesome period of physical activity. Whether it's working your 9-to-5 shift, doing your fitness routines, playing video games, any type of activity, it's all good.
Exactly. The Smart Energy blend from Glitch brings you 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 carbs, and 0 crash. But don't let all those zeros fool you. This baby tastes like sweet heavens, especially the guava warfare that we've got. Unfortunately, it's out of stock, but they've got plenty of their Revive hydration formula on hand. If you need to keep your electrolyte count up, go ahead and go to glitchenergy.com and use our promo code FlockFuel to get 20% off of your total purchase.
We'd like to thank Glitch Energy for partnering with the Ravens flock. We really appreciate it, but you may have seriously made a terrible mistake.
They really did. There's no getting around that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Angel is still barred from leaving his house.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that you and that security guard had exchanged info, because, now he's trying to look out for you. You noticed that, right, Jose? He's been sending messages on our Twitter. He's been trying to help, motivate you to keep your head up.
Why does that not make me feel comfortable?
Fuck if I know.
Anyways, all right, let's go ahead and get started with the review. Let's go ahead and move on. Juancho, ring that bell.
Don't mind if I do.
All right, now this is important, folks. This is the go-home show of WWE NXT before their upcoming televised event. Next week, for the next 2 weeks, we're getting Night 1 and Night 2 of Juan's favorite TV special, NXT Spring Breakin'.
No.
Yes!
No.
Yes!
Why?
And how appropriate! They're actually doing the spring TV event in April instead of May at the final month of spring.
Why?
Because, yes, it makes sense. You do it in the middle of spring. You don't wait until May or June.
Seriously, it's so bizarre. But you know what? I guess that just goes to show you, the calendar and all that other stuff.
But
Also,
Juan's reaction.
If you sent in the chat over here saying it definitely won't happen, but Sin Cara should make a cameo at the Sin City AEW show.
Oh my God. But that being said, Juan does raise up a good point. Spring Breakin' is still a terrible name. But anyways.
I don't get it. And I never will. I don't know why they went with that. Whatever. Let's just keep going. Come on.
All right. So NXT opens up with a one-on-one encounter between Dijak versus Supernova 11, Noam Dar.
All right. So the leader of the Meta-4, the quintessential weirdo who's obsessed with a freaking trophy cup, is going up against Dijak.
That's right.
Motherfucker who believes he's a cop.
Help us. Or the big boss, man.
Or the big boss. Same thing. Hey, Dab. All Dijaks are bastards anyway.
Anyways. So, yes.
I'm going to need to keep myself revived over here. This shit's crazy.
So, yes, it's another classic David versus Goliath clash between Dijak and Noam Dar. Noam Dar coming fresh out of being the silly host for NXT Stand and Deliver. So he's getting a little bit of popularity. Meanwhile, Dijak seems to be at a downward trajectory. He had a great triple threat match at Stand and Deliver, but came up short capturing the NXT North American Championship in the triple threat Knuckles promotion match.
Ow.
But that being said, Dijak was holding his own. He was definitely dominating throughout this match, despite the metaphor being at ringside. That being Oro Mensah, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend. He was tossing around, and Noam Dar did do his best to put up to try to fight the good fight, but it wasn't enough to keep Dijak down. Dijak was able to hit the hard justice, but Noam Dar was able to kick out. And just in the closing moments of the match, as he was about to go for the feast your eyes, then the metaphor start getting involved, aka Oro Mensah gets involved, and Dijak fends off against the interference long enough for Noam Dar to steal the victory from the copycat Big Boss Man. Your winner, Supernova 11, Noam Dar.
God dang it, that is so ratchet. That's no way to freaking try to take on Dijak. If you're gonna get your ass whipped, get it whipped like a man. If you're going in for the most savage beating of your life, fucking take it.
But what if I use the numbers game?
No.
4-on-1, Juan.
No.
But I have the advantage.
But no.
But I don't have to try as hard.
Yes, you should, because now I don't respect you much.
But if I divide my efforts by 25%, which is per person, then I have a stronger chance of winning.
Still no.
This is great for Noam Dar. Not so good for Dijak, man. He's picking up loss after loss. And Damn, dude.
I don't understand you. Why would you go ahead with these cockamamie ideas of being a cheater and stuff? What is wrong with you? I get it. It's pro wrestling. Sometimes the bad guys are gonna cheat and all that. But why are you endorsing that? All right, you're supposed to be better than that. And we're only supposed to cheat when it's funny. Okay.
Okay.
This shit ain't funny. The metaphor ain't funny. They're weird and cringy. They may be cringe, but they are free. Just like Mansoor and Masay, who are wrestling in Uganda right now.
Holy shit!
I wish I was joking. I'll show you later.
Okay, yeah, show me later. But let's get to the exciting match of the night. This one I've been dying to talk about. It's Sol Ruca going one-on-one against Lola Vice.
Okay, so Booty Shaker versus the incredible gymnast surfer babe. Okay. Miami
booty shaking ass kicker versus California surfing, California dream surfing love babe.
Yeah, California beach bunny of epic awesomeness.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, tell me how this went.
This match was incredible. They started off with locking up and doing reversals, and Sol Ruca using her acrobatic skills, like doing cartwheels all over freaking Lola Vice to overwhelm her. And Sol Ruca was dominating throughout the match.
Lola Vice uses ass wiggle. It's not very effective. Vicente Guerrero over here was saying, sad for Dijak losing so much. Must almost feel like he's back in retribution.
Oh,
Jordan Kirby's in the chat. Hey up, Jordan Kirby. Welcome to Wrestle Rewind. He's like,
welcome.
He's like, Sol Ruca's winning this match. Maybe.
But Lola Vice was able to regain control of the match.
These guys.
Yep. Hitting Sol Ruca with a spinning back fist, and then she tries to lock in her sleeper hold, trying to choke out Sol Ruca. Sol Ruca, however, was having none of it, using her strength and her endurance to power out against Lola Vice, countering her sleeper with a sidewalk slam. Yay, indeed. And Sol Ruca was about to go for the Soul Snatcher, but Lola Vice was able to counter. Sol Ruca was able to fend her off, and she goes to the top rope, and it looks like Sol Ruca was going to go for her awesome cartwheel spinning DDT, the one I've talked about weeks ago, which was so awesome, so athletic. But then out comes Blair Davenport, who sweeps Sol Ruca by the legs.
Is this it?
Yep.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Blair Davenport sweeps Sol Ruca by the legs with the referee's back turn, allowing Lola Vice to hit her spinning roundhouse kick to pin and win. Your winner, Lola Vice. And then afterwards, it's a little dim, but she then had a little talkie with Natalya, who appeared on the Titantron.
You see Natalya over here on the side? Yeah? Okay, good. I'm bringing this back over here.
Natalya has challenged Lola Vice at Spring Breakin' to an NXT Underground match. Translation, it's going to be a shoot MMA fight.
I'm sorry, what?
Think Bloodsport, but WWE style.
What? No.
Yeah, they've done it before.
I know they've done it before.
We've talked about it before.
I remember Raw Underground. How much of a catastrophe that was. Is this what they're doing? Is Natty trying to be Shane McMahon? Is that what's going on here?
How did you forget the last time we talked about NXT Underground?
I forgot because I wanted to bleach my brain away from it. That was a psychotic idea. And we're saying Natty Neidhart is challenging Booty Babe Lola Vice to an Underground match?
Yes.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Dear Lord.
I am
both perplexed and aroused.
You know what? It's not surprising that WWE goes outside of the box every now and then and tries something experimental. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. With the Underground matches, take the good with the bad. There were some good moments. I mean, it gave an opportunity for let me think here. Give me a second on this. No.
Oh, wait!
Raw Underground, for all its faults, at least gave us some really good fights. We saw Dolph Ziggler got a chance to scrap up in Raw Underground.
With who?
I forgot. So I don't know, some dude.
Who did he win? Did he win?
Yes, of course he won. Dolph Ziggler was able to win. The Hurt Business, before they broke them up, they were dominant in Raw Underground. Braun Strowman showed up in Raw Underground, even though I felt like that was out of his that was not his style, but it happened. And Shayna Baszler also wrestled. I mean, also fought.
And who did Shayna Baszler beat?
Shayna Baszler beat the shit out of, I think it was one of the Iconics. This was back in 2020.
Okay, listen, you gotta, like, beating up one of the girls from the Iconics is not that big of an accomplishment. You gotta remember, the Iconics were treated like the comedy duos of the team. Yes, they had the athleticism, but they were basically there as, screen fillers almost, which is kind of fucked up. Because I know that that both of the ladies from Iconics are badasses, but like no, Shayna Baszler beating up an Iconic is not something to be celebrating that heavily.
Again, this was back in 2020 at the height of the pandemic. Okay.
Sent in the chat. Natalia doing a true Shane O'Mac impression means she'll be diving off balconies and scaffolds.
No!
Good point.
Don't put that curse on her, Juan!
I'm not going to put it on Vicente Guerrero.
All right, well, Vicente, don't do that. Otherwise, well, I can't do anything to you, but I'm going to tear Juan's quad.
You're going to what?
Anyways, moving on to the exciting segment of the night, speaking about comedy.
Wait, what happened to my quad?
And it turns out you don't need two women in a tag team to give you a comedy treat. All you need is one. With a special guest.
What is happening to my quad?
Anyways, this segment here features Ariana Grace, the beauty pageant queen, Miss NXT herself, and she's embarking on a journey to help beautify Gigi Dolan, or as she's calling her, and I'm now calling her, Georgina.
What?
Okay, so if you all recall, a couple of weeks ago, Ariana Grace beat Gigi Dolan in a match on NXT. You know, the one that involved the low blows between
the cunt punt of doom.
The cunt punt of dooms.
I remember those.
Yep,
that was wonderful.
Ariana Grace won by accident,
right?
or
on purpose, depending on how you look at it.
And in that stipulation, since Ariana Grace won, that means that she gets to experiment on Gigi Dolan and beautify her to make her look like a princess.
That's a goal.
That is a very...
Mr. Geek Me Out's in the chat. Hey up there, Mr. Geek Me Out. Welcome to Wrestle Rewind. He's asking, what do you think of the new World Tag Team Championship belts?
You know what? That's a very good question, and that's a brief, small segue that we'll get into. Me and Juan, we saw the new World Tag Team titles that was introduced on Raw, and my opinion, they actually look like freaking championships. I'm sorry, but since the introduction of the penny colored
the freaking Roman Gladiator,
helmet version of the tag titles back in 2010, I hated the design. I hated the next version of it. It looked like just a bunch of chump change hot glued onto a leather strap.
Yeah, they're not even a good leather strap either, because like the tag belts, the end of it looked so squared and flat and flapless.
But
it was just bleh.
But the new World Tag Team titles look amazing.
They look like proper championship belts. They look good.
And no doubt we're gonna get the same treatment on SmackDown when they unveil their new tag team titles.
Assuming they do.
We'll find out, but let's go ahead and get back to NXT.
Well, and Vicente Guerrero said, Juancho beat me to it and asking, what the fuck were the Iconics doing in a worked MMA match? Yeah, good fucking question. Jesus.
All right, so Ariana Grace is vowing to help Georgina become a beauty princess, and so they make a trip over to a beauty boutique where they go through a selection of different clothes and outfits. Gigi Dolan obviously did not take kindly to any of the white clothing in the section, so they decided to go a little bit more color. And Ariana Grace found a beautiful emerald green dress, and you know what? I gotta say this right now. It looks amazing. Juan, what do you think?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yep, it looks great, but it needs a little bit of an edge to it. It needs a little bit of a bit of a trim. And boy, did we get a trim. Unfortunately, I didn't get a full shot of it, so I only got part of the bottom and the top, but damn!
You see Gigi Dolan basically safety pinned a shitload of black like frill and tulle fabric onto this dress in order to make it her own, and what's his face, and it absolutely horrified the shit out of Ariana Grace. And it was funny because it was fucking hilarious seeing Gigi Dolan basically like, okay, if Ariana Grace wants to take me shopping, sure, but she's paying. and basically left Ariana with the bill and walked out with that green modified prom dress.
I think I sent you the screenshot of Ariana with the credit cards, right?
No, you did not.
Did I? No, I didn't. Okay, never mind it. But the point is...
Oh, yeah. What's her face? Ariana fanned out a shitload of credit cards in her hand. Like, do you take credit?
Damn, dude. How loaded is Santino Marella?
He has a role to play, and he played this role very well. No, for real, though. It's funny, and she's playing to her gimmick, and this works well because the girls are fucking playing their gimmick.
That's right.
Gigi, she's the badass bitch. She's the punk rocker or whatever. Shit taste in men, but that's a different story. And Ariana trying to be, like the model, the pageant queen, the beauty queen bullshit. And like, okay, this comedy writes itself almost. So.
Absolutely. And Gigi Dolan is certainly beautified and ready for NXT Spring Breakin'.
Which is apparently what those dresses are for, is to debut her as Georgina come Spring Breakin'.
Yes. Hey, Watcher, you remember the retirement speech from Ridge Holland? Like, damn, man, that was really, really tough. Like, he really had to step away from professional wrestling, take some time off, and there was really no telling the timetable of when he was going to come back, right?
Yeah, I remember that. It was really sad and all this stuff. Didn't Ridge Holland kill Big E's career? You want me to empathize? You want me to sympathize for that?
Now let's get to the bad match of the night.
Yeah, you really want me to sympathize for that? No.
Even worse, because damn, his retirement was short-lived.
Yeah, and?
Yeah.
Santa in the chat was saying Gigi Dolan could wear a trash bag and still look 10 out of 10 hot.
Yes, she could.
Yes, she could.
I agree.
Yes, indeed.
But getting back to it, okay, so Ridge Holland's retirement was super duper short. He actually came back at the kickoff show in Stand and Deliver during the match between Joe Gacy and Sean Spears for reasons.
Motherfucker, what are you doing messing with Sean Spears and what's his nuts and Joe Gacy?
I don't freaking know anymore, but at this point, I really, really don't care much about Ridge Holland. I don't know what they're doing with him. It is not working, so I'll briefly go through this. This match ends with Ridge Holland getting the win over Joaquin Wilde.
Wait, Joaquin Wilde from the LWO?
Yes.
What are they doing over there? Don't they got shit to deal with on SmackDown?
They kind of jump back and forth. You know, it's like a talent exchange between SmackDown and Raw.
Okay, so I don't give a fuck!
Also, the WWE draft is coming up at the end of the month.
Well, you think they're going to draft people back into NXT? Like, you suck this bad, or I don't want you anywhere near the... What?
No, I think this is WWE's concentrated effort to establishing NXT as a third brand in television instead of
official third brand.
As an official third brand and not a developmental roster. Because remember, folks, we're in the new era of WWE, as Triple H likes to remind us.
Please stop talking about that, Jose. It really does make it cringe if you overdo the gags.
It's the new forbidden door.
Stop it.
Okay, I'll stop.
I'm asking nicely.
All right.
I'm begging you.
So Ridge Holland gets the win. I really don't give a fuck. Let's move on from this career killer.
Fuck you, Ridge Holland.
Oh, man. All right.
Like I said, you want me to feel bad for Ridge Holland. He killed Big E. No, fuck you.
Yep, and during the match, Ridge Holland was observed by the Perfect 10, Sean Spears, continuing their rivalry.
Why?
I don't know why. Please, Sean Spears, move on from him.
Please, Sean, you're better than him.
But kudos to Sean Spears. Minor segue. He got a new job in NXT. He's not only wrestling, but he's also producing matches.
Yay! Actually, that's a good fit because, he's got the experience and they could use all the experience they can get over at NXT in order to help people out.
Exactly.
Yay, that's good things.
Now let's get to the meh segment of the night, and it is an in-ring segment featuring the D'Angelo family. You got the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo. You got Adriana Rizzo. You got Stax. You got Luca Crucifino. This Consigliere. Yeah, a Gabagouli. I just came back from Philly.
Oh my fucking god. Have we mentioned that we're Italian today?
Oh my god.
Have I mentioned to you that I'm a heterosexual today? Jesus. Anyhow.
Tony D'Angelo.
How did these guys drop the ball? You talk.
Tony D'Angelo came up short, unfortunately, trying to beat Ilya Dragunov for the NXT title at Stand and Deliver to a losing effort. And they reflected on their stand and deliver loss, and it sucked. But the family is still holding strong until they were interrupted by the No Quarter Catch crew.
Seriously?
Yes. Hey, I got the name right. The No Quarter Catch crew, the NQCC.
Shit.
Featuring Miles Bourne, the guy on the mic, Damon Kemp, and the current NXT Heritage Cup champion, Charlie Dempsey.
Who is looking like he's trying to kiss the air next to this dude's mic.
Now, this is something I actually do want to talk about, because in this segment, they actually bring up that apparently the NQCC and the D'Angelo family actually made some sort of like compromise agreement, and they both, quote, got rid of Drew Gulak.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, I think this it deserves a side. I think this deserves a sidebar because there's actually some real life shit that happened.
Okay, you explain. Okay, so
all right. So over the course of a week ago, Ronda Rousey actually spoke on a talk show on social media, and she revealed that she was sexually harassed. That she was harassed by Drew Gulak backstage.
That she was sexually harassed by Drew Gulak, at which point he actually responded by saying, like, "Oh wait, no."
He was just trying to go for a handshake.
He was trying to go for a handshake, and he ended up like placing his hand near her waist from her tights, and that's the sexual harassment. Like, if he grabbed her in her cooter or tried to grab her butt, that's one thing, but I don't know.
But the way Drew Gulak explained it, seems like he was trying to go for a handshake and it was just accidental. But nevertheless, WWE were quick to act on it and wrote Drew Gulak off of television. And many folks within the WWE staff and the talent believe that Drew Gulak may be on his way out of the company.
Which is bullshit. He hasn't really done anything, too. That's the bullshit part about it.
That is a bullshit part about it, but considering the fires that WWE recently had to put out dealing with Vince McMahon and his freaking sexual misconduct allegations, I don't blame WWE for trying to eliminate any of the negative elements as possible. But I am with Juan on this one. This was revealed as accidental on Drew Gulak's end, and it seemed a bit overkill. Like, writing him off TV is one thing, but going so far as to firing him, like, that's a bit excessive.
Like, unless there's more corroborating evidence or other testimony from others who were around, who witnessed the incident in question, who were able to either confirm or debunk what's her face, Ronda Rousey's claims, then there's only so much they could do at that point.
And also keep in mind, it's Ronda Rousey. Like, on that talk show, she went scorched earth and pretty much buried WWE.
Well, yeah, and fuck her for that.
Yeah, exactly. But that being said, getting back to it, so after that weird part of the segment where Drew Gulak went back to his home planet, the NQCC then turned this into a trash talking segment, challenging the D'Angelo family to a fight, and we has a piercing sprawl.
Yay!
Piercing sprawl. Piercing sprawl. Piercing sprawl. Piercing sprawl. Woo!
Hey, I like violence a little.
So do I. The D'Angelo family will take on the No Quarter Catch crew at Spring Breakin'. Now, I say that this was a mess segment because, number one, this was sort of an okay-ish rebound for Tony D'Angelo, and number two, man, trying to explain Drew Gulak's disappearance without actually talking about Drew Gulak's disappearance is very weird to translate on television.
Yeah. There's no real way to have that shit translate right, and like I said, it's very odd. So what can you say at that point?
But at least WWE tried and improvised instead of peeling back the they were trying and they improvised instead of peeling back the curtain and go insider shit like AEW does.
Yeah, we don't need that nonsense.
Now, before we get to the main event, we do have an honorable mention here on NXT, and that is it's a tag team match, player.
Holla, holla.
The tag team debut of The Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor, taking on the team of Idris Inoue and Malik Blade. And these guys were dominant in their debut match, representing the Final Testament. And they have destroyed this babyface tag team with their power, with their innovation and combined powers, eventually annihilating them with the Super Collider to get the win. There was a really cool spot during this match where one of the dudes of AOP, he caught one of the guys who flew over. He caught him in a powerbomb position, and then the other guy was about to jump and annihilate both of them. But what one of the dudes of AOP did, he took the dude and powerbombed him to another dude, intercepting the other dude in midair.
Dear Jesus.
It's crazy, and I love it. Holy shit. That is awesome. And you know what? The Authors of Pain, they're amazing. They were former NXT Tag Team Champions. They were also the winners of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic back in 2016. They were one of the top dominating tag teams in NXT during the Black and Gold era.
That's a good point. However, their main roster stay has been a little bit more on the side of Sears.
Yeah, after losing the Philadelphia street fight against Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, they've kind of been...
No, I'm talking about before all that.
Oh yeah, before all that.
No,
yeah.
I'm talking about before all that stuff. I mean, like with how they got let go for a while. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, that's true. They were released from WWE back in 2019, or no, back in 2020 during the mass releases of the budget cuts, and. Since then, we haven't heard much about them until they returned as part of the Final Testament, along with their manager, WWE Hall of Famer Paul Ellering, with Scarlett, and of course with their leader, Karrion Kross.
Still motherfuckers.
Still motherfuckers indeed. And now let's get to the main event, folks. It's a rematch from NXT Stand and Deliver. Two former best friends are running it back, bitch. This time in the confines of a solid steel cage.
A solid steel cage, not a salad steel cage?
Salad steel cage! Ha!
They're really doing that. They really said, fuck it, let's do it.
No, Vicente. Drew Gulak is not back, dude. They wrote him off TV.
Yeah, he said, nice to have Drew Gulak back, even before the Ronda Rousey comments. WWE was using him wrong. Commentator and Charlotte kicking his ass is so wrong. Yeah, it's true.
You know what makes it? You already played that last week! Why are you doing it again?
Because I can!
Oh my god! Dude, we're past that point! Oh.
I'm not sorry!
You asshole! Anyways, but no, Vicente is right, and I'm gonna say this right now. I've been playing WWE 2K24. Drew Gulak actually appears in the tutorial, and it's gonna be so weird me playing this game, seeing his face on it. But whatever. Anyways, so getting back to the main event. It's a steel cage match. That's right. It's the only way to win is by pinfall or submission or escaping the cage. And you are free to use the cage as a weapon.
Yay!
Hell,
oh god, that's horrifying.
Hells yeah. Now
shit, my bad. Hoping I heard the Drew came back comment. Yeah. No, it's like we'd like to hear that, but it's not looking like that's gonna be happening.
It's a very weird, controversial situation.
And it's stupid. It's not really that much of a controversy unless there is proper investigation going on saying, oh, hey, sorry, it turns out Drew Gulak tried to grab her in the cooter, and no, don't fucking grab Ronda Rousey's cooter. That shit is a freaking judo flipping, Olympic gold medal fucking winning motherfucker. And that's just her cooter.
Yeah, dude, you don't fuck with Sonya Blade.
Yeah, don't.
She did voice her, you know.
But that doesn't need to be mentioned. Her voice acting is.
Ooh, really?
Yeah,
ooh.
It's
Never mind then. Moving on. So Trick and Carmelo go at it. It's not anything technical from their main event at Stand and Deliver because it is a straight out fight. The story is Carmelo Hayes has the number advantage on Trick Williams. He's got his entourage, his security guards at ringside to help him out when the situation calls for it. And Carmelo Hayes once again targeting the leg of Trick Williams during the steel cage match and using the cage as a weapon, throwing Trick Williams to the cage walls. And at one point, one of the guards provides Carmelo Hayes with a black pipe that he used as a weapon. The referee unfortunately cannot do anything about it because weapons are legal in a steel cage. The referee is
bullshit.
Which is bullshit, but the referee is only there to count the pin.
It's bullshit shenanigans, man.
But Trick Williams, using with the power of sheer frickin' will, was able to fight back. He took away Carmelo Hayes' weapon and started slamming Carmelo Hayes head first on all four sides of the steel cage.
Ow.
Hells yeah.
Ow.
Carmelo Hayes was on fire, and he hits a jumping neckbreaker from behind, leveling his former best friend. And then, just as he was about to go for, and then he hits Carmelo Hayes with the pop-up fastball punch. And just as he was about to go for the victory, then the security guards show up.
You mean the security guards decide to interfere?
Yeah, no. Oh, no, that's not him. That's actually him and Nathan Frazier. Sorry, I forgot to get a screenshot of the guards.
What the
I thought I did. I sent. Oh, never mind. Fine, whatever. Get back to the main title card.
Yeah, I was about to say.
All right. So Trick Williams was able to fight off the security guards on all sides. One of the security guards was trying to open the cage door and get in, but Trick was not having none of it and kicked his ass out. Carmelo Hayes then gets a steel chair into the ring, and it looks like he's about to clock Trick Williams in the head. But in quick fashion, Trick Williams intercepted. Hits Carmelo Hayes with the running knee to the face, with Carmelo Hayes holding the chair to pin and win. Your winner, Trick Williams.
So finally, fucking hell, Trick has whooped that Trick, hopefully for the last time. Hopefully this is enough
and
to
now
fucking put Carmelo Hayes out of his misery.
And now he's moving on to NXT Spring Break-In to challenge Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. If Trick Williams loses, he will leave NXT.
So Trick Williams is going to SmackDown or Raw.
And as for Carmelo Hayes, I actually do want to point out that when the cameras went off the air after the show, Carmelo Hayes actually gave a huge speech to the fans because this is his final match on NXT, as he's also moving up to the main roster along with Braun Breaker and Roxanne Perez.
Man, I'm missing out on so many of these cool NXT wrestlers over here. They're going to be going up to Raw and SmackDown, and it's going to be beautiful, but I'm going to miss them.
I know,
It's
man.
time over here on NXT.
I know, I'm sorry, Juan.
No, you're not. That's a fucking dirty lie. You're not sorry at all.
But we got Ariana Grace.
Yeah, we do.
We got Gigi Dolan.
Yeah, we do.
We got Rich. I'm not even going to finish that.
No, we don't. Fuck Rich Holland.
Yeah, I know. All right. Now let's move on to this week's edition of AEW Dynamite.
Light the fuse, hit the boom, Dynamite!
All right. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Jon Moxley took some time away from AEW to, take some time away from the spotlight. He was focusing on other things. He was wrestling in Mexico. He was spending time with his family. He actually got a chance to wrestle for New Japan, so good for him. And I just learned...
Good for him because he didn't just wrestle for New Japan. He is now
the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. And no doubt he's going to open up the show clean as a whistle. I mean, because we all know that he won that match without having to make himself bleed. Oh, God damn it, there's the blood.
Were you expecting anything else?
Only in Japan, right?
No. Everywhere he goes.
That's
how you know that this is a real fight. Because I bled like crazy. Because I got to bleed.
Dude, buddy, think about your wife and kid.
Apparently, his wife has no problem with this. Oh, God dang it. Matthew Coburn, Cleveland, and boom goes the Dynamite.
How fitting, because both shows are on TBS.
Question.
What's up?
Why the hell is it called? Is it the IWGP Heavyweight Championship? Why are they IWGP for it when it's for New Japan Pro Wrestling?
I think it has something to do with the organization. The IWGP stands for the International Wrestling Grand Prix, and they are a governing. I think they're a governing organization or a council that oversees the championships in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Seriously?
It's the same thing for Pro Wrestling Noah. They have their own called the GHC, the Global. I'm trying to remember what it means. Global honor, something. I don't know. But the point is, and it's weird to try to understand it, but that's it's always been that way since the beginning of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay, fine, whatever. Point is, I've never understood that, but whatever.
That's the weird thing you never understood. You don't understand why they made the title look like a freaking something out of Wonderful 101.
No, I understand that. That's weird. That's all. Yeah, that's the least weird thing about New Japan's World Heavyweight title. So congratulations, Moxley now has another belt that's gonna get devalued and diminished on AEW television.
So, all right. Well, let me talk about
I saw Moxley's New Japan match. The fight must have given him jet lag. No, the flight must have given him jet lag because John thought he was wrestling for Freedoms or BJW.
Oh God.
Gross.
Right. In this opening promo segment, Moxley got on the mic and he talked about how this was a championship that he's been wanting to get since for 5 years, since he started wrestling in Japan in 2019. He's been chasing after the title for 5 years. He finally had it, and he was able to prevail through with sheer guts and determination. And how he remembers that 10 years ago he was told that he couldn't do this and couldn't do that, and he pretty much told them I can't remember the exact words, like I think it was like, screw you, yes I can, because he has that, because as he says, he's got the guts, he's got determination, he's got the fight in him, and that's pretty much what symbolizes AEW. And to put it in words, to put it short, this promo segment is what AEW needed in the past 2 weeks. Not the rah-rah speech from Adam Copeland, no disrespect to him, not the fucking reveal of the CM Punk footage. No, this promo segment, if you look it up online, actually does AEW justice. And the fans were eating up all of it. The fans were chanting unanimously for Jon Moxley.
Okay, that's good. And so all right. So
once again, Jon Moxley coming through in a clutch when shit goes bad.
And he managed to go through that promo without gigging himself, did he?
Of course he did. And
sure?
Yes. Well,
okay, I'm just making sure.
He then grabbed the mic and started bashing his head in. Okay.
I know, because like I remember Ric Flair and Mick Foley having done that before, so like, I wouldn't have put it past Moxley.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there we go. Vicente was like, Mox's exact words were, "Kiss my ass, yes I can win."
Thank you, Vicente. Yes, kiss my ass, yes I can win. That's what he said.
All right. And
now,
like I said, look, I'm not going to fucking deny that Moxley's got what it takes to be a world champion. He's been a world champion before. Him chasing New Japan's World Heavyweight title here, that's not a problem. I'm just not a giant fan of him continuously going into trash wrestling like 5 seconds into his fights, 5 seconds into his matches, where it's nothing but, like fucking, like hardcore shit when he should be showcasing how he should be above and beyond that shit. How he doesn't need to be hardcore.
Because he's done it before.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, whenever I fucking see a match with Moxley and he doesn't bleed like a stuck pig, I will watch that match over and over in order to get more detail out of it. Because I like when he shows his skill, his athletic ability, his wrestling prowess. Because any fucking dope who has no fear of being hurt can go in a wrestling ring and bleed like a stuck pig and look like a dumbass and still look hardcore no matter how many gallons of blood they spill, right, Jose?
Yes. You dumbass, get out. But in this promo segment, he then turns his attention to the Don Callis family.
Ew.
And he is, because for weeks, the Callis family has been feuding with the Blackpool Combat Club, and he has challenged their strongest member of the family to a one-on-one match next week on Dynamite when they return to Jacksonville, Florida. And spoiler alert, it's going to be Jon Moxley versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Cool.
Hells yeah.
All right, well, I like Will Hobbs.
Hells yeah, we all like Will Hobbs. Now let's get to the exciting match of the night. Speaking of Blackpool Combat Club versus the Don Callis family, in the semi-main event of AEW Dynamite, representing the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli goes one-on-one against the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay.
Who, for some fucking reason, is still associated with Don Callis' horseshit.
Yes. Also, I forgot to mention this week's AEW Dynamite takes place over in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yes, it does. There's a historical significance.
What's the historical significance?
It's the birth of the WWE's In Your House pay-per-views back in the 90s. That's historical. In your house.
It was never in my house.
What
What the hell are you trying to tell me?
All right, moving on. So yeah, this was an incredible technical masterpiece between two decorated wrestlers. The story, of course, is Claudio Castagnoli working over the legs of Will Ospreay and also using his power and his technical prowess to overcome Ospreay's aerial abilities. And of course, Don Callis is at ringside on commentary with Taz, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur, offering his input on Will Ospreay. And these two guys really, really killed it. Claudio Castagnoli, of course,
Killed it in the good way of these two has good fights.
killing it in a good way that these two put on a fucking clinic.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
It was a series. Yep, it was Will Ospreay was able to get the early advantage in the match until Claudio Castagnoli was able to turn it around. And then when we got back from commercial break, Claudio was working over the legs until they get into a series of reversals. And Claudio Castagnoli at one point tried to go for the Ricola Bomb, only for Will Ospreay to counter it to a Hurricane Rana to try and get the pin, but Claudio kicked out after 2. And then Will Ospreay tried to pull a page out of Claudio's book and lock in the sharpshooter.
Oh?
Yes, he locks in the sharpshooter, but Claudio Castagnoli was able to reverse it and lock in the sharpshooter of his own onto Will Ospreay, because turnabout is fair play in wrestling. Yes, indeed.
That.
It was truly amazing, and Will Ospreay, Will Ospreay was about to go for another aerial move, but then Claudio Castagnoli was able to pop him up and then hit him with a European uppercut right up to Ospreay's face.
Dang.
Before I continue, Vicente says Indiana home for most IWA Mid-South shows. No worries, Mox was on the show.
No wonders Mox was on the show. Tony Khan's nod to Ian Rotten.
Oh, ha. Well, that is a historical significance. I was trying to go for WWE historical significance, but thank you for that, Vicente. Good to know. All right, getting back to it. So, Claudio Castagnoli once again tries to go in for his finishing move. Will Ospreay was able to counter and knock Claudio off his feet. And then in the final seconds of the match, Will Ospreay hits the hidden blade to pin and win. Your winner, Will Ospreay.
Naturally, I mean, come on. If this homeboy isn't kicking ass and taking names, then what's he flying back and forth every day of every week from England back over to the United States to have great bangers, bruv? What's it all for then?
Exactly. You know,
he's not kicking people's asses and winning somehow.
Yeah.
The good news is he's not cheating, so that's what I'm fine with. That's because usually folks who align themselves with Don Fallis's fucking ass is dirty rotten heels, but not this time.
I just wish that Will Ospreay didn't have to open his mouth, but that's a different story. And then after the match, the Don Callis family went into the ring and started putting the beat down onto Claudio Castagnoli. Konosuke Takeshita.
See what I mean? This is exactly what I meant.
Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Will Hobbs put the beat down on Claudio, but then out comes Jon Moxley in his bright white t-shirt, running down for the save and staring dead in the eye of Powerhouse Hobbs as they clash next week on Dynamite.
This is what's gonna happen here, pal. This is what happens. You try to mess with us. Like even Ospreay might have been should have been at the end of guys, what the fuck was that about, bruv?
Yeah, no, he was actually acting like that, like, bruv, what are you guys doing, bruv?
Bruv, what's it? What's all this, bruv? What are you talking about? Why are we doing this, bruv? Okay, I won the match already, bruv. Those ring ropes look too white.
Yeah, I know. They're trying really hard to beat WWE.
I don't know why.
They're trying really hard to beat WWE.
They really should stop that.
I know. But now let's get on to the exciting segment of the night, and this is one of 2 backstage sit-down interviews with Renee Paquette interviewing the AEW World Champion, Samoa Joe.
Oh, wait, as in it was split into 2 parts?
Like, they aired Samoa Joe's interview first, and then later she had an interview with Swerve, which we'll get to in just a bit. But let's talk about Samoa Joe's interview. Samoa Joe really did not mince words against his Swerve Strickland heading towards Dynasty. Like they were talking about how on last week's edition of Dynamite where Swerve jumped Joe after Joe's main event match, hit him with the house call, and the show ended with Swerve holding the AEW World Championship. Samoa Joe the only thing Samoa Joe was worried about is his property being held by somebody else, in which case by the end of Dynasty he's going to have to clean off his championship because it was sullied.
Mike, I have a question. Why don't you just clean it off now, Joe? You have your belt back. Why don't you just clean it off now?
I don't know.
You can still have the match with Swerve. No one will fault you on that. But you've got your belt back. Why don't you clean it now?
Samoa Joe
like for real. It's just like it doesn't even have to be a deep clean. Just take a toothbrush with like rubbing alcohol, right? And scrub the plates, right? And then on the back, use a paper towel or something and wipe the back down.
Where it's so easy. I mean, it is easy. He could do it.
Like there. Then now it's cleaned off, and the scruff of Swerve Strickland holding it was gone. You can still have your match with Swerve. No one's gonna knock you. Like, why would you say that when you have your belt back? It would make a little more sense if Swerve stole the championship belt this close to Dynasty and is trying to hold it hostage. Kind of thing.
But
that would actually kind of make a little more sense for that line.
But don't worry, that's just the beginning, because Joe continued his trash talking against Swerve Strickland, pretty much calling him out on being a choke artist and flopping every opportunity he worked for in Dynamite. But he told Swerve that he doesn't have to worry, because at AEW Dynasty, Samoa Joe's going to be the one to choke him out.
See, everything else in the promo was fine. But except for the cleaning line, I did that. I'm sorry. It needs to make a little more sense.
He's clearly showing that he's not too concerned about his opponent. He's more concerned about his property.
Then why didn't you clean it now? You've got it. It's yours again.
Come on, Joe.
Well done, Samoa Joe. You have your property back. You may clean it now. Like I said, it would make more sense if Swerve stole the belt. And it's like, no, I'm going to get it back, and the first thing I'm going to do after I use it to beat Swerve Strickland's ass in within an inch of his life is I'm going to polish it off afterwards to get the scum of Swerve Strickland off of me. Off of it. That would have made sense.
That would have made sense.
But what the fuck do I know, Starscream?
All right, time to groan.
We'll groan in a second, but we've got, if you said it, saying Claudio and Will alone could be a pay-per-view main event. Imagine how badass it could be if they could make this for a 30 or 60-minute run. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I can watch that.
But now it's time to groan hard, Juan, and I mean really hard. This time the groaning level is all elite.
No.
It is a 6-person treat. No! We talked about this! No. I can't let you. I can't let you do it, Juan.
I'm doing it. No. I'm walking away. It's the fucking young fucks. I'm not doing it.
We're both hosting the show.
No, I'm not gonna. You can't make me.
If I have to talk about it, so do you.
You can't stop me.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I'll tear your quad.
You better not tear my quad. I've only got the 2. What is wrong with you?
Come on,
why would you do this to me? Just because I say things all the time. I can't help it if they're true.
Whoa.
That's why you don't throw me. Fuck my elbow.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
It is a trios match featuring Pac, Daniel Garcia, and Penta El Cero Miedo versus The Elite. The AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada teaming with the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson.
No. No!
This was self-grandizing. This was so fucking dumb. It had, the way the match was produced, of course, had the Young Bucks fingerprints all over it. At one point during the match, when they went to commercial break, Matt Jackson got on the mic, and he told the commentators, oh no, sorry guys, you guys are doing a really bad job, so I'm going to take over commentary for a bit during commercial break, and I'm going to hype us up. And then he got into the ring with the microphone, and while he was beating down on Daniel Garcia, he was trash-talking Daniel Garcia.
Why? You're in the middle of a fight, you idiot!
Because he can.
No. No, you cannot. You must stop now. No.
Yeah, no.
Why is the Coliseum in Indianapolis based on Garfield? I see Garfield's logo. No, that's not important right now. Go on. Go on, please. I'm trying to focus my attention on anything but the young fucks.
So then the bastard Pac finally gets the tag in, and
by the way, the bastard Pac is back, people.
Yeah, by the way, Pac is real life friends with the Elite, so fuck him too. Anyways, Pac gets into the match, and yes, they have a bunch of flippy shit that happened between Pac and the Young Bucks, as they normally do. And then, of course, Penta gets into the ring as well. I'm going to cut straight to the end because I really hate this match because it has Young Bucks all over it. Kazuchika Okada was able to get the win after hitting Daniel Garcia with the Rainmaker. And then afterwards, the Elite tried to put the beat down onto Daniel Garcia and Penta El Cero Miedo. But then Pac got into the ring with the freaking the ring bell hammer that he used as a weapon, and he scared off the Elite. Pac is scheduled to go one-on-one against Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Continental Championship at Dynasty.
Why Pac? Why not Daniel Garcia?
I have no idea.
No. It's lit.
What even makes this so annoying is that they apparently they cut a promo earlier where they interrupted the promo segment of FTR, and they cut to them talking backstage, and they were treating Tony Khan as if he was some TV producer instead of the boss. Like they were treating him like fucking Mike Nakazawa, their buddy.
So they're treating him like the pushover that he is.
Yes!
Because Tony Khan is a pushover.
Oh my god. The stupidity is so ridiculous, man.
It's not fucking funny if you're the ones making the reference to how fucking asshole-ish you are. Dumbasses. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just about done with the EVP angles.
Okada, bless his fucking heart. He's clearly making enough money to not have to worry about his self-respect. Because that's the only fucking way I can see him putting up with this horse shit. But what do I know?
Sports-based wrestling! Anyways.
In the chat, Vicente, Kazuchika Okada should have stayed far away from the Young Fucks. Sad, but hey, for $4 million over 4 years, I guess he's happy to carry the not-so-young fucks. Seriously.
Yeah.
No. I don't. Why would you subject us to this?
Oh, but don't worry, Juancho. The groaning continues because here is part 2, Electric Boogaloo. It is a talking segment featuring Taz, who is mediating a deal between the FTW champion Hook and Lionheart Chris Jericho.
No. All right, we talked about the Young Bucks. You said nothing about having to stick around with Jericho. No.
Oh, God. Well, don't worry, folks. I'm going to be hot tagging one very soon. So in this talking segment, Chris Jericho is trying desperately to try and broker a deal with Hook and teaming together or taking Hook under his wing. And even at one point, and during this promo segment, Jericho made a reference to the Jericho Vortex that has been the term that has been thrown around on social media and many news outlets, aka Wrestle Talk News, because Chris Jericho, there's a joke behind this that Jericho is that anytime Jericho's in a storyline with another wrestler, in AEW, it's supposed to help elevate the other wrestler. And Jericho tries to defend it, like, oh yeah, with the people I worked with in the Jericho Vortex, the folks have been. I've made stars out of the wrestlers that I work with in AEW. Just ask Jon Moxley, ask Kenny Omega, ask Will Ospreay, and he could throw the other names. And I'm just thinking, like, okay, what about Action Andretti? I haven't heard his name. What about Sammy Guevara? You didn't mention his name, and this guy has been attached to you since the beginning of Dynamite. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a shirt called the Jericho Vortex that's available on AEW Shop. So, in this segment, he keeps talking, and anytime Taz interjects, Jericho says, like, no, you let me talk. And he promised to take a Hook under his wing and give him all the expertise, everything that his dad couldn't give him. And then Yeah, and then at one point, like, fed up with being interrupted, Chris Jericho pushes Taz down. Hook gets right up to Jericho's face, backing him up against the corner, and then yells at him saying, like, that he will take on Chris Jericho anytime, any place, anywhere, and he demands Jericho to get the hell out of his ring. This is the strongest that Hook sound in a promo segment on Dynamite. And that was honestly the only good part. That Hook came off sounding strong, and he pretty much told Jericho to get the hell out of his ring. Although, personally, if I were writing this segment, I would have had Hook just beat the shit out of Jericho and throw his ass out of the ring. Because, dude, Jericho put his hands on Hook's dad. Come on, man. But also, we need to address Chris Jericho because Hook needs to be removed from Jericho as far as possible. Jericho needs to go away. He needs to go away. And you know what? I'm going to stop right here because my words are not going to do it. 1, hot tag.
Give me that! Get that out of here! Get out! Give me that! No, there is a process to this. You leave your ass cushion here, and I'm the one who throws it away. It's a process. It's one of the unwritten rules, okay? You don't believe me? Ask Kevin Owens. You don't break the unwritten rules. You don't break the unspoken rules. You have to follow those rules. It's how this stuff is supposed to work, and that's how you're supposed to... Hi. Juan Rouse for the Ravens flock, one of the tech gurus of the team, the host of the Black Files, and Jose's tag partner here on Wrestle Rewind. Also, Aaron Cooper and Lisa Boo made it into the chat. Hey up there, folks. Welcome to Wrestle Rewind. So yeah, I'm fucking sick and tired of Chris Jericho. And if, like I say, it's high time that Jericho gets his ass the fuck away from these younger kids that he continuously latches onto and leeches off of. Now, the whole thing with him... with the whole term Jericho Vortex, motherfucker, Chris Jericho legitimately took that term that had been bandied around online with other people talking about Chris Jericho, and he basically took it as like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a trademark on that baby, and I'm gonna own it. So anytime you guys try to mention the term Jericho Vortex, I'm gonna get money off it, baby. It's his fucking cheap shit way to try to absorb other people's very valid fucking critiques of how soul-crushing and how miserable his performance has been over the last couple years, in order for him to try to turn it around like, aha, now I'm using it. It's the hello, how do you do fellow kids meme on himself. When everyone's mentioning the Jericho Vortex, it's them being sucked out of relevance because Chris Jericho needs to work with all these younger people, and that he needs to be the center of this guy in the world of the Jericho-verse. Like, I remember when we had Cody in AEW, he had the Codyverse, and that was him trying to work with other people in order to help get them over with the TNT title, and him trying to have different matches and sort of be like the standard bearer for AEW. Chris Jericho ain't that guy, all right? He may be the very first hire for AEW. He may be one of the highest paid people in AEW. But he ain't that guy. He is not a standard bearer. He is not like Cody Rhodes was when he was in AEW. Motherfucker is supposed to be the fucking veteran putting other people over by making sure that their shit is highlighted. Not for him to try to latch onto whoever's already over and try to get a rub from them. I don't give a fuck how he's going to try to fucking justify any of this. I don't give a fuck about how he's going to try to reword this or try to justify how he's been fucking operating this whole time. It's not a Jericho Vortex. A vortex has an end to it. It's a black hole. Chris Jericho has become a black hole for professional wrestlers who are young, up-and-coming talent who get over on their own, or who have enough support from the machine, from management, from the company, in order to be presented as being super over, where they go and they get spaghettified. And they get pulled into a single nanomolecule and a thread of mass into a void from which there is no escape. Not even the hallowed light of God himself can get away from a black hole.
Juan, I've got some worse news for you.
You got some more snooze for me? Cool.
No. Some worse news, I meant. On April 12th, Chris Jericho filed to trademark the Jericho...
I said that!
Yeah, okay, good. Okay.
I said that! He's fucking... Like, are you kidding me? Are you not even paying attention? I walk away from whenever you're trying to tell a promo, but I'm still paying attention to the shit you say. You're not even paying attention for the words of what I'm trying to say. It's an unwritten rule, Jose. You have to, if you're going to be contributing to a promo, if you're going to be contributing to a segment, you have to listen. So you have to actually have dialogue and actually have sparring of the words back and forth. That's how promos work. That's not how you're supposed to do it. That is not how promos work. And you know better than that. Fuck! My point is, Chris Jericho should be nowhere near the professional wrestling business anymore. He does not have it. He can still walk around, he can still move around in the ring, but he doesn't have the actual rock star charisma that was built around him, that he had built around him. He can't maintain that shit. He couldn't maintain it, not anymore. After he had his big bangers with Kenny Omega and New Japan Pro Wrestling when he left WWE, that was pretty much the end. And every stupid-ass idea, every stupid-ass fucking thing that Chris Jericho has been a part of in AEW since then has been fucking ridiculous ever since. You don't believe me? Dinner Debonair. Yeah, it was fucking funny.
I really can't knock on that. I actually enjoyed that.
Yes, but what was he trying to do? Was Chris Jericho trying to actually help elevate MJF in that? Or was he trying to get a rub from the salt of the earth?
The latter. It was definitely the latter. And he ended up, and in the end of their feud, like, it lasted until freaking All Out in 2021, where Jericho won!
I rest my fucking case! Chris Irving, please, for the love of fuck, just step out. You're embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing the business. Just fucking stop. Dude, I used to have a lot of respect for your ass, but seeing how you've basically turned into this weird-ass old grandpa motherfucker who still thinks he can hang, and he totally doesn't have graying hair in his mane. He's totally still has, sexy blonde hair. Yeah, no, motherfucker, listen, I'm pretty close to half your age, but even I can admit I'm fucking thinning out. Okay? I have enough dignity and enough self-confidence to say, you know what? Yes, I've got a sexy Jedi mullet, but up here, the forest is I'm getting a little deforestation up here. But I'm not going to worry about it. Because that's how nature goes. And it's all right. It's okay to fall a little out of fashion, so long as you have self-respect. So long as you have some dignity. You know, that shit you ain't got anymore, Chris. What the fuck, man? Fuck off. There. Now, to follow the unwritten rule, you go back and you grab your cushion, and then you put your cushion down, and then you continue the show. All right? There's a process to this. There is a process.
Watch it. Don't have a heart attack on me.
Ah!
God. So yeah, bad segment. Jericho needs to get off TV. Moving on. Fuck him. Before we get to the main event, we do have an honorable mention from this week's edition of AEW Dynamite, and that is a one-on-one match between two female competitors. Deonna Purrazzo against Toni Storm cosplayer Mariah May.
He's still going. Yeah.
They had
she even got the makeup down too. What the fuck?
Indeed, they had a pretty good. They had a pretty solid encounter, which saw Deonna Purrazzo getting the victory over Mariah May after hitting her with the Queen's Gambit, and then afterwards, Toni Storm tried to run down and attack Deonna Purrazzo, but then out comes Thunder Rosa to destroy Toni Storm in the middle of the ring and smear some purple makeup all over Toni Storm's face. A little bit of payback from a couple of weeks ago when Toni Storm smeared Thunder Rosa's face makeup.
You gotta be kidding.
And boy, oh boy, Toni Storm was left with embarrassment and
Like,
purple on her face.
Like purple face over here. It looks like it was just like regular ass cream makeup or something.
What is that? Would you call that lilac?
No, lilac is bluer. That is
Plum?
Yeah, I'd say plum, but not like dusty, like ash plum, like you'd normally see. More like an actual very saturated plum.
Also, kudos to the AEW camera crew for capturing this shot.
She looks so defeated. She looks so done. Like, why? What happened to my life to lead to this moment? How could this have happened? How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes. To go on. It's like, see, Vicente in the chat was saying, I'm no Jericho hater, but I can be honest, once he got some backstage power, he changed. RVD said he hated working with Jericho back in 2002 in WWE.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Ooh, man. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to the main event segment. And this is where we get to the other half. Of the interviews, yes. So Swerve Strickland, earlier in the show, Swerve Strickland got to sit down with Renee Paquette, and he addressed his opponent Samoa Joe at Dynasty. Swerve Strickland mentioned that he has what it takes to take on the AEW World Champion because he can go the distance. He welcomes pain. He welcomes the brutality, the blood, the violence. There was a quote that he mentioned during his interview that harkens back to his days when Swerve Strickland was in the military. Oh yeah, by the way, Swerve Strickland used to serve in the military.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot what he said, but it was really compelling shit. And just as he was about to continue the interview, instead of addressing it to Renee Paquette, he was going to address the rest of what he was going to say in the ring. So after the Ospreay and Claudio match, Swerve Strickland ran down to the ring and he called out Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe, pissed off with the world title, and he's being escorted by security. The whole thing broke out into a huge pull apart. It started with Swerve Strickland going over to the top rope, and he pretty much annihilated all of security. Yep.
Yep. Oh my god! And the one camera guy with a freaking giant mohawk mullet hawk over here.
Yeah.
Kudos to him for staying close enough to not die, but also get a good shot of the Swerve up in the air.
That is pretty awesome.
Okay, so yeah, kudos to him.
So Swerve Strickland knocks out all the security, and then he's finally at ringside, and he's face to face against his opponent, against the champ, against Samoa Joe, and these two brawled it out in the ring. Swerve Strickland got the upper hand in the fight, hitting Samoa Joe with the house call, and just as he was about to go with the drive down drop kick, Samoa Joe catches him at the top turnbuckle and levels Swerve with the muscle buster in the middle of the ring. And AEW Dynamite closes off with Samoa Joe holding the AEW World title proudly over the carcass of Swerve Strickland.
But he hasn't cleaned it yet!
A prelude to what will happen at Dynasty, perhaps?
But he hasn't cleaned it yet! No, he didn't clean the belt yet!
Oh my god.
Seriously!
I like how you're fixated with that.
No, I have to fixate on something because, like, there's I get the rest of the promo was fine, but that part didn't make any sense. It's like it's not like you had it stolen and you can never fix it or clean it ever again. It's like you have it right there in your hand. Just give it a spit and shine polish.
It didn't make sense to me either, so.
Like, well, that's why you think I'm bringing it up. What do you think I'm actually bringing it up? It's because this shit don't make no sense to me, sucker. All right?
Right.
Jesus Christ. But still, yeah, like the build between Joe and Swerve, this is working out just fine. No issues here. Thank God. And like you said, the show went off the air. Okay.
Of course.
Cool.
And now, and now let's get to this week's edition of TNA Impact.
Yeah.
This is another go home show before their pay-per-view event, TNA Rebellion, which is this Saturday on 420, y'all.
Yay.
Yeah. All right. This is one of their final tapings at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So wrestling is moving away from Philadelphia, and we're turning our attention to Sin City.
All right. Well, let's see how this turns out.
All right, so TNA Impact opens up with a one-on-one encounter between Alexander Hammerstone, really cool name, by the way,
Alexander Hammerstone
versus ECW original Guido, the leader of the full-blooded Italians.
of the FBI.
And
He's not little Guido anymore?
no, dude, check his age.
He was, no, well, I mean, little because he's the shortest guy in the group.
Nah, bro, he's just Guido.
He's just Guido now?
He's just a Guido.
He's just Guido now.
He's the Guido.
He's the original.
Take notes, Tony.
He's the original Poppity Poopy.
Yeah.
Poopity Poopy Pop.
Take notes, Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah, exactly. Guido walked so you could run.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, my God. This was a one-sided slaughter, unfortunately. Despite Guido's best efforts, Alexander Hammerstone pretty much ran right through Guido during this match. And just to add more brutality, Hammerstone was still carrying around the headgear of Josh Alexander as his personal trophy. He puts the headgear onto Guido, who at this point has already been brutalized and tenderized.
Ow.
And Hammerstone continued the punishment and eventually made Guido submit to the torture rack to pick up the win. Your winner by submission, Alexander Hammerstone.
Fuck.
Yes, Alexander Hammerstone will be squaring off against Josh Alexander in a last man standing match, the final rubber match at Rebellion Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not fucking terrified for our Guido at all, am I, Steve?
I know, man, and it really, I guess it, on the one hand it makes sense, but damn, dude, you just pretty much destroyed Guido in the ring, man. The fuck?
He just he emasculated the guy. He just freaking made him like he turned him into like paste, like it was nothing, like it was no big deal.
Exactly.
Poppity poopy.
I know. It was really sad. All right.
Those are sad poppity poopies.
It was a sad boppity boopies. But you know what?
Poopity pop.
Wancho, let's turn that frown upside down. What if I could give you a fun tag team match?
I like fun tag team matches.
Hells yeah! And this match is for the TNA World Tag Team Championship as the System, representing the System, that is Eddie Edwards and the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, defend their championships against the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
Okay, I can get behind this.
This is the semi-main event of TNA Impact, mind you, and this match was absolutely amazing. The story is that the Motor City Machine Guns are trying to work over the legs early on Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. They were able to get the upper advantage during this tag team encounter, even at one point locking in simultaneous figure four leg locks in the middle of the ring.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. And the momentum continued until out comes that biatch, Alicia Edwards, to interfere and turn things around for the System.
Right? God damn it. That stupid, as Jose was trying to say, like, that Jezebel, how dare she?
That Jezebel. Oh, God, Jim Ross, I love you, man. So, yeah, from this point, the System have control. And when we got back from commercial break, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards were working over Alex Shelley for a long while, trying to keep him from tagging in Chris Sabin. They were able to continue the punishment until Chris Sabin was able to fight against the 2-on-1 odds. I got the hot tag onto Chris Sabin, and we saw some tag team magic that happened in the ring. We saw we saw Chris Sabin going on the top rope and hitting a crossbody, annihilating both tag partners, and then they both did simultaneous baseball slides to the bottom rope, which is cool. I thought they were going for a dive, and they just went for a slide, but then turns out one of them still got a dive in their belt, so Alex Shelley went and did a suicide dive and knocked out both guys at ringside.
Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
And then,
sorry, I like seeing the Motor City Machine Guns in action.
Of course, who doesn't? And then this move, it's really difficult for me to explain, and I showed Juan the replay video. Chris Sabin gets over to the top rope. Alex Shelley has both guys set up in a very awkward position. So,
almost like double Russian leg sweeps, almost?
Almost like double Russian leg sweeps. So Chris Sabin then jumps off from the top rope, and then he lays out, and then they lay out both teams. I don't even know what to call this move. This is one of the most craziest moves I've ever seen. But it was not enough, unfortunately, because Eddie Edwards was able to kick out after two.
God dang it.
And after some more incredible attack team action from the Motor City Machine Guns, just as they looked like they were about to close in on the victory with their Skulls and Bones tag team move, Alicia Edwards once again interfering. God frickin' damn it. And that
dirty, rotten biatch.
And that interference cost them dearly, as Alex Shelley as Chris Sabin was leveled out by the roster cut from Brian Myers and the Boston.
Oh really? Oh fucking! He calls it the roster cut.
Yeah.
Really?
And the clothesline.
Fucking really?
And the Boston knee party from Eddie Edwards to pin and retain. Your winners, and still the TNA World Tag Team Champions, The System.
Motherfuck you!
And unfortunately, this ends on a very somber note, because this is the very last match that the Motor City Machine Guns competed in TNA wrestling, as they are now free agents and they are likely going to be signing with All Elite Wrestling.
Likely, but still not a sure thing. I really hope they don't. But that's only because I want them to do fucking better. I want them to go up to the big stage, to WWE. It'd be fucking beautiful if they went to WWE. Imagine how they would fucking train wreck the entirety of the fucking of the fucking tag team division, either on Raw or SmackDown.
Considering how well WWE is doing this time and how well they're treating the ex-AEW wrestlers like Cody Rhodes, Jade Cargill, and Lexis King, and how they were able to work with outside promotions like TNA and GCW, honestly, I don't see a reason why they would pass this up. Why would they not sign with WWE?
Seriously, it makes no freaking sense to me. Like, yeah, go where the money's at, and Tony Khan's a money mark, and what do you call it? Like, freaking bless their heart if Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin grab easy money from an idiot who doesn't know how to fucking book to save his life. But there's also, their legacy, their career to consider, and we want them to have better careers if they're going to be calling it a day or whatever, because they've been hanging around the block for over 20 years, right?
Yes. Now,
so for fuck's sake.
Now, from what I've read, and I'm not trying to dredge up any drama, but there is a lighter work schedule when it comes to working for All Elite Wrestling as opposed to WWE. Needless to say, the Motor City Machine Guns may land themselves a good deal as long as Tony Khan is able to pony up the bucks. All the pun intended.
Ha ha. Also, what's his face? Lisa Boo saying that she's listening and reading and still here. We appreciate you, Lisa Boo. Not to worry. Thank you for joining us tonight. And Vicente saying typical Motor City Machine Guns, hitting moves that don't even have names. And also saying farewell to Motor City Machine Guns in TNA. If you go to AEW, may Alex and Chris make tons of coin.
Yes.
Seriously, that's the only fucking upside, is having a lighter schedule and bilking Tony Khan for every penny he's worth.
Pretty much, man. Gee, I guess some guys are just not fit for the grind of WWE.
Okay, don't fucking insult the
yeah, no. I know.
Like
I'm not gonna.
Will Ospreay fucking sticking his foot in his mouth is one thing, but don't you disrespect Alex Shelley or Chris Sabin like that.
I will not.
Good. Don't.
But now let's get to the exciting segment of the night, and this was actually filmed ahead of time. This was pre-taped, and it is a video package from the TNA Knockouts World Champion, the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace.
Is she at a mall?
Yeah, it looks like she's at a shopping mall in Philadelphia.
Mall?
I don't know.
Fucking whatever. Okay, what? Fine.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, are you going to question Gigi and Ariana being at a boutique?
There's a purpose over at a boutique. I'm like, was she just hanging out at the mall? Is this an airport?
Well, maybe Jordan Grace wants to be beautified into a princess. You don't know
she's
that.
She's not beautifying. She's already beautiful. I'm saying, like, it looks like she's either at an airport or at a mall. I can understand if it's an airport. Actually, come to think of it, it probably is an airport, because I see a little monitor, a little TV screen above the upper right-hand corner over there. Well, so maybe she's at an airport.
Well, one thing is true about Jordan Grace is that she is pissed off. On last week's edition of TNA Impact, Jordan Grace was taken out by both Matt Cardona and the number one contender to her championship, Steph DeLander, when Steph DeLander chokeslammed Jordan Grace through the table after the contract signing.
Ow.
Ow, indeed. So Jordan Grace has got a little bit of a payback to dish out. And this Saturday at Rebellion, she knows that Steph DeLander and Matt Cardona will try and cook up some sort of scheme. And Jordan Grace pretty much said that she's got something cooking up as well. And come Saturday, she'll be ready for both of them.
Yay.
Very likely she might be bringing in someone in her corner to even the odds against Matt Cardona and Steph DeLander. But all the same, woo! Yay! We're happy that Matt Cardona is back in TNA, right?
Yeah.
Also,
of course, he's always ready.
Also, a bigger
And
shout out to...
and what's her face, Lander, whipping ass with Jordan Grace. I ain't gonna argue that.
Also, Juan, I know we have our criticisms, but let's give a shout out to Matt Cardona for having an incredible match against Adam Copeland for the TNT title on Collision a couple Saturdays ago.
True, but at the same time, like, I'm also pulling for Matt Cardona because he had pectoral surgery today.
Oh yeah, that's right. He tore his pec muscle. Man, oh man, that's the same. That's the same injury that sidelined Triple H
And Cody Rhodes.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Well, here's hoping that that Matt Cardona has a speedy and painless recovery, as painless as possible.
And you know what? While we're at it, we're also going to wish, because we haven't addressed it yet, we in the Ravens Flock channel will also like to wish Rhea Ripley a full speedy recovery.
Yeah, she should be back in a couple months or so, but there's it's you never say never, and we don't know what'll happen.
Exactly. But one thing's for sure, one thing's for sure, Juancho, and this is something that will never change. No matter how dire things get, no matter how many wrestlers get sidelined, we have these 5 words that'll carry that we carry in our hearts. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry. Like those in London, in Paris, in Tokyo, America, Scotland, and Canada, and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. He's become a freaking TikTok meme. It's hilarious and I fucking love it.
It's amazing and it's getting traction for him.
Right? Seriously. And yeah, if you said that, you're right. Matt Cardona never puts on bad matches. He's damn good.
He is really damn good. Now, Joe Hendry is still feuding with Rich Swann and AJ Francis in TNA, but in this match, he pretty much wrestled again in an enhancement match against a wrestler called LSG, and he first cut a promo, of course, addressing his opponents, doing his usual Joe Hendry shtick, which is awesome, and then his match really didn't last long because, like I said, it was an enhancement match. It was a one-sided match. Joe Hendry was able to get the easy win. Like, it wasn't bad by any means. It was just very short, and it was pretty obvious who was going to get the win. Yeah. Joe Hendry was able to make quick work out of LSG before hitting him with the standing ovation to get the pinfall victory. Your winner, Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
All right. So now let's go on and move on to the segment of the night. No. That I did send you a screenshot.
Yeah. Sorry. There it is.
There it is. Now we move on to the segment of the night, and it was originally a promo segment featuring the Concierge and Ash by Elegance.
I still don't fucking get that, but whatever.
So apparently, by order of Santino Marella, oh man, sounds weird addressing him like that as an authority figure. Ash by Elegance will not be able to compete this Saturday for the Knockouts World Title, and she's not going to be competing at Rebellion. But they did announce that that Ash by Elegance will be at ringside on commentary to observe this Knockouts World Title match between Jordan Grace and Steph DeLander.
Oh, shit.
But then, as they were glorifying the hell out of this announcement, out comes Xia Brookside on the right, and she pokes fun and she takes a few jabs at Ash by Elegance, claiming that she didn't win fairly against her a couple of weeks ago, that Ash had to result into cheating to win, and
which she does,
and that got Ash and the Concierge all fired up, and I'm like, it's cool. I like that there's a story at least to this, but I don't know. I feel like this Ash character is not landing with me.
Like, what? In what way? I mean,
I think it's the Concierge. I think the Concierge is reaching a certain ceiling with his annoyingness. Like, I think the Concierge is the one that's really taking me out of it.
So, what, you think that the annoyingness should stick with Ash herself?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to quantify specifically, Juancho.
Well, then, Joel, try.
No, I'm not going to try because then I'll be here all night. But that being said, it was It was a small little pebble in the grand scheme of things with the Knockouts World Title picture, and no doubt this is obviously going to help Xia Brookside and elevate Xia Brookside and Ash by Elegance in the Knockouts World Title picture. And so I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. The segment was just annoying because it was just too much of the gaga from the concierge and from Ash. But that's just me.
I get you. Okay. And Vicente was over here in the chat. He says that Rhea Ripley's injury timeline is anywhere from 3 to 8 months. And also, LSG was part of a tag team in the pre-Tony Khan Ring of Honor. And let's see here. LSG and his partner beat War Machine, a.k.a. the Viking Raiders, before they went to WWE.
Oh, okay. So LSG's got a little bit of a street cred. All right. I get you.
Well, if you can take the fight to the War Raiders, War Machine, whatever their name, then yeah. I gotta show you a picture of
the War Raiders from Ring of Honor. Their gear is so fucking awesome. But that being said, before we get to the main event, our honorable mention for this week's edition of TNA Impact goes to the Knockouts division. One-on-one match between Rosemary, the Demon Assassin,
from Decay,
versus one half of the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Jody Threat.
And, of course, their respective partners, Jessica Havoc and Dani Luna, are at ringside to make sure there's no shenanigans.
Now, Juan, you and I, we saw this match, and this was fucking awesome. It is so amazing to see Decay return to form since TNA's relaunch back in January.
It was so much fun.
So much fun.
So much fun.
Rosemary was able to get the victory in this match after some interference from Havoc, who leveled out Dani Luna and who distracted Jody Threat long enough for Rosemary to hit the spear.
Nice.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Great encounter for both of them, and no doubt it's going to build momentum for DK as they head into their Knockouts tag team match this Saturday at Rebellion.
Right, it's gonna be a nice little throwdown between these two psycho babes, and I'm here for it.
Hells yeah! But now it's time for the main event segment. It's another talkie segment featuring the number one contender for the TNA World Championship, my guy, the man who shows the world,
the wanted man,
Nick Nemeth. Yes, I am gonna get used to it. It's gonna suck not calling him Dolph Ziggler for a while,
right?
But I can get used to it.
It's okay, Zay. You're not the only one who can't get away from that. Look at Moose.
So Nick Nemeth was able to get a few words in a couple of minutes of the promo segment about how it started off as a basic babyface promo until the lights cut out, and then Moose makes his way down to the ring, and Juan, you and I saw this promo segment. Moose got on the mic and he pretty much called out Nick Nemeth, saying that nobody believes that he could be TNA World Champion.
Right, because he could never overcome the system.
Yeah, and the Nick Nemeth cut him off, trying to accuse him of trying to get into his head, which is not going to work for the show off. Nick Nemeth told him that, the fans want him to be champion, the talent want him to be champion, the people higher up want him to be champion. They all want to see Nick Nemeth topple Moose.
And to bring the system down.
Yes.
And once and for all. And that's what he's going for. And okay, I'm sorry, the promo is working fine on his own, but Moose is not very elegant in the wordings of talk.
He did his best. He tried his best. Talking is not his strongest suit.
No, it's not. It really isn't. And that's me trying to say it nicely. Because truthfully, it was tough to walk through with him.
It was. Now, Moose did get on the mic and he did call out Nick Nemeth for being given the ball when the opportunity was presented to him and always choking up, and pretty much called Nick Nemeth a choke artist when it comes to finally hitting the big time, and that the results will be the same come Rebellion. And then Nick Nemeth, he pretty much talked about how he made his debut in TNA Impact and how he pretty much cut a passionate promo saying Impact is his home. TNA is his home, and TNA is where he belongs. And he made it very clear this Saturday at Rebellion, he will be the next time Moose looks at him, he will be crowned the next TNA World Champion.
And of course, Moose, in his attempt to still try to have some kind of dominance there, just holds the TNA title over his head. Let's see here. Rosemary and Jody Thread in the same ring. Not only great wrestling, great in the ring for both, but so much beauty in the ring should almost not be possible. Should, but it is. That's wonderful.
Indeed.
And of course, Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth over here. He ain't too hard on the eyes himself either.
No, he's not. And
no, truthfully, like I said, it was I get the promo. I get the segment.
it's Moose's delivery.
Moose was delivering it very kind of mushmouthy in a way because you get what he's saying. The words in and of themselves aren't the issue, but I don't fucking believe him.
Yeah.
I don't fucking believe him when he's saying that. And that's the fucking problem. And he doesn't have to shout from the rooftops for him to come off believable. He just has to have conviction in his delivery.
The body language.
Exactly. And he didn't have the right body language when going up against Nick Nemeth. Seriously.
No, he didn't. Judging from the tone and the body language, Moose did not sound very confident in his own words. And I think it would benefit from having a manager by his side.
Yeah, but they have a manager and she was too busy cheating for the tag titles.
That's true. And of course, TNA Impact closes off with this segment, with both guys staring at each other, Moose holding up the World Championship. Their main event match is going to be awesome. All right, Juan, ring the bell.
Don't mind if I do.
So, this go-home show of TNA Impact was definitely a lot of fun. The Motor City Machine Guns, it's going to be hard to see them go, and it's going to be hard to say goodbye, but they had a great tag team match against the System coming up short for the World Tag Team titles. Nick Nemeth, once again, proving that he's a master of the game, of the mic game. He out-talked Moose in the main event segment.
Not necessarily a challenge, but definitely something that does take effort.
Yes, indeed. And the Knockouts definitely had their moment to shine. Not only Rosemary getting the victory over Jody Thread, but Jordan Grace cutting a very fiery promo against Steph DeLander. And yeah, I know there is silliness with Ash by Elegance, but maybe there's a little bit of a glamour to that silliness, as Juan is trying to convince me.
You mean with the
with Ash?
Yeah, no. Like, look, it's the silliness of her. It, like I said, it's like, okay, doing it slightly differently. The whole Tony Storm bit of of being a diva and being full of yourself and all that. It's the same idea, different rapper, different delivery. And Ash by Elegance, while her delivery on it is unique, and it is different from Tony Storm, the concierge, whatever, he shouldn't be too active for her as a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
What's her face? Tony Storm has her guy. What the fuck is his name? Luther. But do you see Luther cutting promos for her?
Hell no. Tony Storm is excellent in talking.
Exactly. And I don't know. Like, what is Ash by Elegance that good of a talker?
I've seen her promos in WWE. She needs a little work, so I guess that's fine.
Guess,
but also, call the ambulance for Guido. Holy crap, he got destroyed in the opening match.
Why would they do that? Look at how they massacred my boy.
I know, right? Now, this week's go-home show for AEW Dynamite was also pretty good. The opening promo from Jon Moxley was exactly the promo that they desperately needed to get themselves back on track. Like, and Moxley, he, like I said, he has a reputation of always coming through when shit hits the fan in AEW, coming through when it counts, and this was definitely much needed as far as damage control is concerned.
And all he asks for in return is to get to wrestle like a trash man. He's a simple man.
Yeah.
Jon Moxley has very simple tastes.
Yes, he does.
And Vicente in the chat, Moose is sort of okay on the mic, so not all out bad. Moose's best promos are his online name drops of WWE and AEW talent. Yeah,
sure.
But yeah, look, okay, Moxley, he could talk well when he's got the right motivation and when he's got the right ideas going on with it. And like you said, he was able to deliver the type of promo to hype AEW up in the way that would have worked 2 weeks ago.
Like I said, no disrespect to Adam Copeland, he definitely tried.
An effort was made.
Yeah. Now, that being said, great match with Will Ospreay and Claudio Castagnoli. It was an incredible semi-main event match featuring two experts in wrestling, and that definitely stole the show for the Indianapolis crowd. I'm just about done with the Elite's bullshit, and I am done with Jericho's bullshit as well. I'm fucking over these guys.
Yeah, it's not that they're over. Not that these guys are over. It's we are done with these guys.
I want them to go away.
They don't have heel heat. They have X-Pac's go away heat.
No, well, worse. Baron Corbin's go away heat.
Right? God,
Ugh.
Corbin's the worst.
Yeah,
Ruins everything. No, I'm kidding.
But that being said, but the women's match was definitely fun. Deonna Purrazzo getting the win over Mariah May was definitely the right call. It'll help get her back on track in the women's world title picture. Mercedes Moné had a promo segment, but that was neither here or there. Like she
was just her saying, like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna be at ringside next week." Whose fight with Willow Nightingale and
Julia Hart. Oh no, that's Sunday.
And you better believe no one crosses Mercedes Moné.
Yeah,
it was neither here nor there.
Yeah, it was neither here or there.
And it was pre-recorded too. So come on, man.
Yeah. That being said, I'm all for the main event between Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland. Both of these guys definitely killed it in their storyline and in the interviews.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to talk about Dynasty. Now, this week's go home show of WWE NXT was also fun. The video package of Ariana Grace trying to beautify Georgina was definitely Gigi Dolan was definitely hilarious. I loved it, especially Gigi Dolan. Damn, man, that emerald green, she looks great in that color.
Right?
Woo, woo, oh man. Oh, excuse me, I'm sweating under my beanie here. Anyway, I just shaved today.
Yeah, there's lotion if you need that, but not for what you think, you perv.
Dumbass. The main event match with Trick getting the win over Carmelo Hayes in the steel cage match was awesome, and I can't believe it. Like, dude, he's challenging Dragunov once again for the NXT title at Spring Breakin', and a great send off for Carmelo Hayes as the previous stars of NXT that held the brand for the past few years in Braun Breaker and Roxanne Perez and Carmelo Hayes. They're all being moved up to the main roster, and I can't wait to see what happens. The opening match with Dijak, oh man, it was rough for him to go through that fall from grace.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know. And also, of course, the weirdness of Drew Gulak's disappearance. That didn't diminish the show, but it was very difficult for WWE to try and explain Drew Gulak being off television. So kudos for them writing him off and how they did it. So with Tony D'Angelo's family
and took care of him,
who
and
took
he's
care
no
of him,
longer
oh God! All right, so that's gonna do it for this week's folks. On next week's edition of Wrestle Rewind, I will be reviewing the main events of AEW Dynasty, TNA Rebellion, and I'll also be reviewing the TV special of NXT Spring Breakin' Night 1. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to talk about it. Now, just a couple of last-minute announcements before we close off the programming. On this Saturday at 4:20, there will not be an edition of Los Amigos Play.
But we still have our regular episode of the Ravens Flock, though.
But we still have a regular episode of the Ravens Flock Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And folks, we invite you to tune in Sunday on April 21st for our next subathon. Nerds watching all over the internet, the Ravens Flock presents to you
Super Subathon Deluxe!
That's right. Making good on our promise from January, we'll be joining you on the subathon and we'll be playing Mario Party Superstars on the Nintendo Switch. And we'll be streaming live Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern right here exclusively on YouTube. This is much different than our wrestling watch parties because a subathon, there is a goal, there is an objective, there is a mission. We are trying to get our number of subscribers up.
Folks, do us a favor over here. I'm sharing the link for the subathon in the chat. By all means, go over there and do. I want you guys to do this. This is important. I want you guys to go down to the subathon. And where it says on the screen, where it says notify me, hit the notification bell for that. And for anyone who may need, for the record, this is not me saying that any of our audience is dumb or anything like that. I'm saying for anyone who doesn't know how to do this, it's easy. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys just for anyone who might need a reminder. All right. So Here's the page that you're going to go to.
Yeah.
All right?
Right.
Right over here. Click on Notify Me. Double click, make sure that you have that click to notification on. That way, come Sunday at April 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, you'll be notified a half hour in advance. And by all means, go down here and share. Copy the link and share it on your Facebook page. Share it on your Twitter profile. Share it on your Instagrams, on your Reddit threads, on your bloggers, on your Tumblrs, on your Instagrams. What the heck is Cacao Talk? Cacao is cocoa. Whatever. Point is, share this with everyone you know. Copy that link, spread the good word of the Ravens flock, let them know of the fine work that we're doing here in order to help make your voice our mission, and let people know that this is a subathon. So spread this link around, folks.
Hells yeah. And I think now is a good time to go ahead and close off the program. Juan, plug us away.
Don't mind if I do. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what happened with the music over here? Give me a second, folks. Why did it do that? Oh, that's why, because it never got fixed. Never mind. Give me a second. All right. Don't you do that. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between, thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of Wrestle Rewind, hosted by Jose Casabona! He reviews for you the best and the worst of three of the most exciting professional wrestling programs in North America today. That is WWE's NXT, All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite, and TNA Impact. Step into the ring every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting on YouTube and Kick Live. Hit the subscribe and the follow button, ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our content. Become an interflocker by hitting the join button, and until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/TheRavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Kick.com/TheRavensFlock, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring that tiny little notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and The Ravens Flock.
All right, folks, thank you very much for tuning in to another exciting live edition of Wrestle Rewind. For Mr. Juan Arouse, I am Jose Casabona, and this is Wrestling.